In this video, I'm going to teach you the exact bidding and budgeting process I've developed that helps me scale e-commerce YouTube ads campaigns to six-figure spends at over 2x ROAS. Hi, I'm Daryl and I'm the founder of BigFlare, the PPC agency for e-commerce companies that want to scale with paid traffic. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to manage your bids and budgets for your e-commerce YouTube ads campaign. I'll show you exactly which bid strategies to use and which to avoid. I'll teach you how to scale your budgets up when something is working really well. And I'll teach you how the bid strategies actually work so that you can pilot them profitably. But first up, let me ask you the question of the day. What's the main obstacle for you right now with YouTube ads? Maybe you're struggling to know how much to budget for it, or maybe you don't know how to put together great ad creative or a landing page. Whatever is your main struggle right now, let me know in the comments below. Alright, so let's dive right on into today's video and let's talk about some bidding and budgeting for YouTube ads. There are many bid strategies available in Google Ads these days. It can be really hard to know which one is going to be the best for your business, product, and situation. So let me start by making this much simpler for you. There are only two bid strategies that you need for YouTube ads, and those are maximize conversions and target CPA. That is it. Forget about manually bidding based on cost per view or viewable CPM. Google's automated smart bidding strategies, target CPA and maximize conversions, work really well for YouTube ads, and they are all you need. Having said that, neither of these two bid strategies are going to blow up your campaign for you without you needing to think or know how to use them properly. You need to learn in which situations to use each bid strategy and when to flip between the two, and how to manage them ongoing so that they stay successful for you. So let's look at each of those bid strategies individually and learn about how and when to use each one. To quote Google, maximize conversions automatically sets your bids to help get the most conversions for your campaign while spending your budget. The important thing to always remember when using maximize conversions is that its priority is to fully spend your daily budget and to get as many conversions as it can while doing so. Please remember that, everyone. I have seen so many people complain that maximize conversions brought them terrible results. Without fail, when I see people complaining about that, it's people who did not understand how maximize conversions actually works, and they had set their daily budget way too high. When you use maximize conversions, it will always try to spend your full daily budget every day. So the first and most important step to mastering this bid strategy is this: manage your daily budget really carefully. Use maximize conversions as a discovery type of bid strategy. When you are just starting out on YouTube ads, or when you're launching a new campaign and you don't yet know how it's going to work. When you're starting a new campaign, your priority should be to spend a certain amount of money so that you can gather data with which to make optimizations. Maximize conversions is ideally suited to this purpose. When you have a product that sells for about $100 or less, I would start each new YouTube ads campaign with a daily budget of around $50 to $200 per day and maximize conversions bid strategy enabled. Launch the campaign and then wait a few days to start gathering data. As you gather data over a matter of days and weeks, you should be optimizing the targeting, creative, demographics within that campaign in order to improve its performance. As the performance improves, you will see the CPA going up and the ROAS going down. And when you see that happening, you can start to slowly increase your daily budgets. As the daily budget increases, you gather data faster and faster, allowing you to make faster and better optimization decisions within the campaign. That in turn allows you to improve the performance even more, which allows you to raise the daily budgets even more and get more data faster. When done correctly, it becomes a positive feedback loop, and your campaign simultaneously spends more and decreases its CPA over time. Remember earlier I mentioned the most important thing to remember about maximize conversions is that it prioritizes spending all of your daily budget. Knowing this piece of information can teach us something else that's super important to know about maximize conversions, and that is this. When using maximize conversions, the CPC bids in your campaign are directly related to your daily budget. That's because maximize conversions is trying to spend your daily budget as efficiently as possible to get the most conversions. This means that whenever you raise your daily budget, maximize conversions is going to respond by increasing the CPC bids in your campaign. And vice versa, whenever you lower your daily budget, maximize conversions responds by lowering your CPC bids. This means that every time you change your daily budget, maximize conversions needs to change your CPCs. And when it does this, performance can fluctuate quite a lot. It's because of this that when you use maximize conversions, you cannot make big, sudden budget changes in your campaign. Making sudden and large budget changes in a maximize conversions campaign can totally mess up the algorithm's learning and cause your previously high-performing campaign to crash. We've tested this in dozens of campaigns with thousands and thousands of dollars worth of ad spend. And here's what I can tell you from my observations. If the campaign has a daily budget under $250 per day, I would increase the daily budget by $50 per day and no more than that. Between $250 to $500 per day, and I'll allow myself to go up to $100 per day budget increases. Beyond $500 per day, and I would only increase my daily budget by 10% to 20% at any one time. Whenever you increase the daily budget, CPC bids are going to change. The algorithm needs to relearn a bit, and performance may wobble for a little while. That's why it's important to wait a proper amount of time between changes to your daily budget. I normally recommend waiting at least 3 to 7 days before making another change to your daily budget. Anything less than that, and you may not have given the machine enough time to learn how to dial in the bids since your last change. So that means if today I decide my campaign is performing well and I want to increase the daily budget from, say, $100 to $150. Then after I make that change, I will not change the daily budget again for at least another 3 days, or even up to 7 days, depending on how things are going. And this brings me to the main disadvantage of maximize conversions, and that is this. When you are on maximize conversions, you can't scale your budget quickly. Let's say your campaign is absolutely crushing it, doing a return on ad spend of more than 4x. So you want to quickly double that spend so you can make even more profit. That's understandable. When things are going well, it's time to capitalize on that. Well, unfortunately with max conversions, you simply can't do it. No matter how well things are going, I never recommend quickly doubling or tripling your budget. You have to stick with small budget increases spaced out over many days and weeks. Anything faster than that, and you really might kill the performance of a campaign that was previously killing it for you. And that is where Target CPA can come in and save the day. One of the main advantages of Target CPA or TCPA over maximize conversions is that with TCPA, you can scale your budgets much more quickly without impacting your performance. I'll explain why that is and how you can use this to your advantage in just a minute. First off though, let's just quickly explain what TCPA actually is. Once again, to quote Google, what Target CPA does is it sets bids to help get as many conversions as possible at or below your target cost per acquisition that you set. When you use TCPA, you will tell Google exactly what cost per acquisition or CPA you want to hit. Google will then go away and figure out the CPC bids that allow you to hit that CPA as an average over time. In this case, the main thing that affects the CPC bids that Google is going to set is the target CPA that you are asking for. If you increase the target CPA, Google will respond by increasing the bids. And if you decrease the target CPA, Google will respond by decreasing the bids, always trying to bring you into that target that you set as an average. As I described what makes Google increase or decrease your CPC bids just now, notice how I didn't mention the daily budget. Yeah, that's because with TCPA, your daily budget does not have a direct impact or relationship to your CPC bids. And that is why with TCPA, if your campaign is working, you can quickly double or even triple your daily budget, and the performance afterwards can be just as good as it was before. You don't have to worry so much about budget increases impacting the performance of the campaign. I recommend switching from maximize conversions over to target CPA in any campaign where the performance has been good and consistent for 7 to 30 days already, and now you want to be able to scale up faster. Alternatively, if your account is already very mature, if you already have a lot of campaigns performing at a good CPA, then you can even launch new campaigns straight into TCPA mode. This allows you to bypass the slow initial build-up on maximize conversions mode, but do note that this usually only works on mature accounts that already have a bunch of high spend, high performing campaigns running. The main trick with maximize conversions to know is how to adjust the budget to steer the bid strategy the way you want. The main trick for target CPA though is how to set your target CPA and how to change that over time. One of the main problems with target CPA, and the main reason I start new campaigns on maximize conversions mode, is that if you set the target CPA too low, the campaign will not spend. If the campaign does not spend, you gather no data and you can't make optimization decisions to improve the performance. Using target CPA and having the CPA target set too low can cause your entire campaign to stall, never getting spend, conversions, or data. So you need to set your CPA target high enough so that the campaign continues to spend. And often, you need to set your target much higher than you actually want, and then slowly decrease it over time. Here's an example. Let's say I need a TCPA of $30 for my product. Now, if I move a campaign to TCPA mode and then I set my campaign CPA target straight to $30, what I might find is my campaign spends nothing and I can't optimize it. Instead, what I might have to do is start out with a much higher CPA target. Sometimes just $35 will work, but sometimes I might have to go all the way up to $60 or even $90 on my CPA target. This can make a lot of people uncomfortable because they rightly think that this is so expensive and I'm not actually making money. But that is okay. At this stage of the campaign, the priority would be keeping my spend up so that I can continue to gather data, make optimizations, and improve the CPA over time. After you set your TCPA at a level that is high enough to continue spending in this campaign, what you then do is slowly lower the target to your desired level over time. So if I had to set it to $60 to guarantee my campaign spends enough, then next I might want to lower it to $50, then $40, then $35, then $32, then $30, something like that. You will find that as your target CPA gets lower and closer to the target, its sensitivity kind of increases. Thus, as you get lower on the CPA and closer to your target, the size of the jump you want to make should be smaller and smaller and smaller. Also note that the same rules about waiting 3 to 7 days between changes apply. Every time you make a change to the target, you need to wait at least 3 to 7 days for the changes to propagate before you make another change. So, with TCPA, you still need to be patient when decreasing your target down to the desired level. But also, once you get there, once you get a TCPA campaign dialed in and performing at the right level, then you can start scaling its budget up much faster. I have seen TCPA campaigns that can tolerate having their budgets suddenly doubled, tripled, or even quadrupled, and then they continue performing just as well after the budget increase. Having said that, there are times when the budget increase leads to a dip in performance on TCPA, so still be wary of that. The reason for this is that as you increase the budget, you become eligible to show on more and more placements inside YouTube, and some of those placements may perform differently. So, budget increases on TCPA are generally more stable, but also they aren't perfect, and you still need to watch carefully and be really careful after each budget increase. One of the main problems with target CPA, and the main reason I start new campaigns in max conversions mode, is that if you set the target CPA too low, the campaign won't spend. If the campaign doesn't spend, you gather no data and you can't make optimizations to improve the performance. Using target CPA and having the CPA target set too low can cause your entire campaign to stall, never getting spend or conversions. Another difference between TCPA and max conversions is that max conversions is more likely to outperform versus your target. Let's say you want to get a CPA of $30 and you set it to maximize conversions, and then it gets so many conversions for your budget that you end up with a CPA of $5. That's great to be smashing your CPA target, and max conversions will continue to do that for you. If, on the other hand, you were to use target CPA in this same situation, and you had set the target to $30, what the bid strategy will do after it initially gets those $5 conversions is it will start to raise your CPC bids so that it can get your average CPA to $30. That's right. On target CPA, if your CPA is too good, the bid strategy will try and make it worse for you because it's always trying to bring in the exact target that you set. And it doesn't really care if the CPA is currently too high or too low. Either way, it will try and make adjustments to move your average CPA towards the target CPA. So I would say if your campaign is currently outperforming your CPA target and you are happy to scale your budget slowly, stick with max conversions. If your campaign's actual CPA is close to or even above the CPA target, and if you want to scale quickly, it's probably time to switch over to TCPA mode. To sum it all up, for high-performing YouTube ads campaigns, you only need to master 2 of the available bid strategies: maximize conversions and target CPA. Start new campaigns on maximize conversions and scale up their budgets slowly while working on optimizing creative and targeting to improve the CPA. Always wait 3 to 7 days between budget changes. Switch to target CPA in mature campaigns with good performance where you want to scale more quickly. With your target CPA, you may need to start the CPA target too high and then slowly lower it over time. And again, wait ideally 3 to 7 days between changes to your target. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. I'll be posting more videos like this every month. And if you'd like to find out more about my PPC agency, where we help scale e-commerce businesses with paid traffic, come check us out at bigflare.com. Let's dive right on in. Okay. I'm actually just burping right now. So pro tip, don't drink a fizzy drink while shooting YouTube videos. Here we go.